Call recording on.
All right, welcome to another edition of Cleverock's infamous interview podcast. Joining us today on our hotline is Sugary guitarist Rodney Sheppard to talk about the band's brand new release, Music for Cougars, out on July 21st. Rodney, thanks so much for taking the time. It's a pleasure to speak with you today.
It's my pleasure. How you doing?
Good. As I just mentioned, Sugary finally has a new album release titled Music for Cougars, coming out July 21st. And with the exception of your greatest hits album in 2005, this is going to be your group's first release in roughly 6 years. How excited are you to finally put out an album?
Very excited. Yes, it's been the 6 years sort of went by like that. But, it's been long overdue. I'd say the reason for the 6-year hiatus, real quickly, we saw the music was kind of changing. Bands like us and, sort of Smash Mouth and Third Eye Blind just sort of weren't packing the houses like we were. And, we'd had a good run. We realized that. Some of us were having children in the band. And sort of the writing was just sort of on the wall for us to maybe take a step back, sort of reassess our life. And that's what we did. And then, coincidentally, last September, we got an offer from a label, Pulse, to make a new CD. It's an old friend of ours. He said, he talked to Mark, our singer, and said, hey, you guys feel like getting back together and, making a record? And Mark was just finishing up his run hosting Extra, and he said, yeah, why not? We're all still friends, and, we never do break up. We were always playing a couple shows a month. But so we kicked off the cobwebs and took about a year to write it, and here we have Music for Cougars coming out July 21st.
That's great. I'm really looking forward to the record. And Rodney, take me back here a while. Let's go all the way back to 1997 for just a moment, when Sugary just released their number one hit, Fly, which, by the way, was my favorite song that year. I was 13, and I used to dance around my room pretending I was Mark. That's a little too much information. But
that's great.
But most critics, they labeled you a one-hit wonder back then. How liberating did it feel when you guys released 1459 and, that spawned 3 top 10 hits?
It felt very wonderful. At the same time, we completely understood why, some press would write us off as one-hit wonders because, first of all, our first CD, if people even did any research, we'd had a CD before that one, and it didn't have any radio waves. It didn't sell anything. It barely made a splash. So when the second CD came out, it was all kind of hard music because that was the music that we were playing prior to that. For the most part, we dabbled in mellower music on the first CD, but I'd say the big difference is we had a much more experienced producer, David Kahn, for our second record, and with him we were able to write Fly. We wrote Fly, and he took it to the next level. He taught Mark, our singer, how to sing much better instead of yelling and screaming. After we had success with that, it gave us much more confidence to write in that direction. We've always loved the Beatles and the Beach Boys and harmonies. We just never had the confidence to play that kind of music. So we played hard music and sort of hid behind our lack of talent. Anyway, over the years, we got a little better, learned some more chords, and we came back and titled our record 1459 as a play on Andy Warhol's 15 Minutes of Fame. So we were letting everyone know we were in on the joke, alluding to one more second of fame. So for us, we ended up having 2 more hits off that CD, and it continued our joyous ride.
Yeah. Now let's fast forward to 2001, which that was the last time Sugary had a top 20 single. Now, did you guys feel a little bit disappointed moving forward that you weren't achieving the same commercial success that you did in the 90s?
Yeah, but again, we nobody to blame but ourselves. I think there's no one particular reason. I'd say, looking back, we stopped trying as hard maybe, and we started having children and things happened in our personal lives and stuff, and I think maybe we after going so hard for 10 years and we went to Europe 7 times on our first record, we were just physically burnt out. We didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, we were creatively and physically burnt out. And When It's Over was our last charting single, and the CD following that, I don't think any of us really had our heart into it. We let our producer have too much influence, and nobody to blame again but ourselves. The CD or the song that we went with as a single, we listened to the label instead of ourselves, and it was a real stretch from anything that our fans were waiting for. It was called Mr. Bartender, and that sort of canned us for a while. After we did that, we realized, we weren't at our best. We weren't at our best again. So coming back on this CD, though, I think we all feel like it's the best CD we've done in quite a while. The songwriting is definitely moved on, and it's great. There's some great songs on there. I know because some of them, we've collaborated with great outside songwriters. So I feel confident in saying that, and we got some good collaborations on the CD and stuff. So I think we came back, pretty strong with the CD. Our expectations are realistic. It's a different world now, so we're not expecting to, sell the numbers that we used to. But the only reason we did it was because we got an offer to make a CD, and that's what bands do. You make music if you have an offer, and so it was a really good opportunity. And all we're hoping to do is just hear a new song on the radio again and get out there and tour and support the CD. So anything other than that, it was all gravy.
Mm-hmm. Now, Music for Cougars was produced by Josh Abraham. He's known as one of the best producers in the biz. What did he bring to the table when you guys went into the studio?
Well, at his studio, Pulse, he has a real umbrella of talent in there. Some other upcoming great engineers and producers and songwriters. One of them, Luke Walker, we collaborated, writing songs with him quite a bit. Very talented. He just brought a good variety of talent for us to work with, and provided a good atmosphere and didn't rush us. He let us, take practically a whole year, which is cool because we like to work at our own pace, so it worked out good that way. And he's an old friend. He was best friends with DJ Lethal on our very first CD, Lemonade and Brownie. He produced our first CD, Lemonade and Brownies. And when we were doing that, that's when we met Josh Abraham, but he wasn't producing at the time. He was just a guy hanging out, and it's funny, we went off, had our career, and then as we were off having our career, he started producing, and next thing you know, he's the biggest producer, and his career is blown up, and now way down the line, he asked Mark, hey, you want to work together? Why not? Just for old time's sake. So it's pretty cool. It was just lined up in the stars for us to make the CD. Mm-hmm. It wasn't forced, in other words. It happened very organically.
Good. And I see you guys brought a lot of guests on the album in the studio, including Josh Freese, studio drummer extraordinaire, and Rivers from Weezer, and Donovan Frankenreuter. Again, I haven't heard the album.
Yeah.
What? Sorry.
And Collie Budd's also. He's huge in the reggae community.
Oh wow! And what role do these people have on the album? Is it pretty prominent? Are we going to hear a lot of them, or are they more in the background?
Let's see. Josh plays just on one tune called "Going Nowhere." Let's see. Rivers Cuomo wrote "Love Is the Answer" for us, gave it to us, and he is vocally on the bridge, and he plays the guitar solo. So that's a huge. I mean, if you know our band, we've loved Weezer, since their first record, and been extremely huge fans. We wrote a song for the Scream 2 soundtrack called Rivers, just because it was kind of a Weezery type song, and just to show what an influence he was for us, we actually called it Rivers. And just years down the line, who would ever think that he would actually take an interest in our band? It's pretty bizarre how things come around in life. So, and the Donovan Frankenreuter was also a real natural thing. We've been meaning to collaborate with him for a while. We first met him on the Warped Tour in 1997 with a band that he was in at the time called Sunchild. We've stayed friends with him all through the years. He's now my cousin. He married my cousin, so we're related now.
Oh, wow.
He's also from California, and he's, our styles are a little bit similar, so that's why we got together and did that song with him. And let's see what else. Tim from Sugar Cult, we collaborated on a song called Going Nowhere with him, and so it was pretty nice. It was nice to be able to reach out to people and have them actually respond and then get something solid from it.
Good. Now, according to your press release here, it read, the entire CD is pure classic Sugar Ray with a totally modern feel. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I'd say yes. If you know the quintessential Sugar Ray sound, you're going to hear that quite a bit on this CD, more than our last CD, put it that way. And I'd say the modern sound would just come from working with Josh Abraham and his whole crew and what he brought. So the real contemporary edge in the production and stuff like that.
Good. And what can fans know? Sorry, go ahead.
If you look back at a lot of Sugar Ray CDs, we always dabble in 80s-ish music, and we sort of took that to the next level on a couple songs on the CD too. So.
Mm-hmm. And what can fans most look forward to about this album?
What can they most look forward to? I'd say just getting a good, solid, what you bargain for Sugar Ray CD again. I think it's been a while since we've provided that for our fans, a long while. And, so we're getting back to that again. So.
Good. All right, Rodney, we're going to let you go. Once again, we've been chatting with Rodney Sheppard, guitarist for Sugar Ray. Band's new album, Music for Cougars, dropping July 21st. First single off the album, Boardwalk, can be heard on your favorite radio station now and can also be streamed at myspace.com/Sugar Ray, all one word. Sugar Ray is coming to House of Blues Cleveland July 29th with special guest Fastball. And who cares that Dave Matthews and Incubus are in town on the same night? Head out to HOB and check out Sugar Ray.
All right.
Rodney, good luck with the album release and the upcoming tour. Looking forward to the album. Looking forward to seeing you in Cleveland. And thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Joel. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Rodney.
Take care.
Bye-bye.